A few months ago, I had the privilege of driving the all-new Range Rover, a vehicle that more than lives up to its illustrious reputation, and a vehicle that has also proven to be quite a hit with South Africans, as I'm sure many of you have started seeing them on the roads already. Today, however, I'm joined by a more compact, more sportier version of the Range Rover, which is the all-new Range Rover Sport, and we are at Gerotek testing facility to see just how sporty it really is.
It certainly looks the part, especially in our test unit's menacing shade of Santorini black. Combined with the optional black exterior pack, which includes a gloss black grille, black bonnet louvers, and black badging, as well as the 23-inch alloy wheels, the Sport leaves you in no doubt that it means business. There's more black inside, including the ebony suede cloth headlining at 25,000 Rand option and the perforated semi-aniline leather seats. The latter are sumptuous, supportive, and thankfully standard.
Under the signature clamshell bonnet, I'm sure many of you would be expecting a big stonking V8, but it's quite the contrary. I've got a 3-litre inline turbocharged diesel, but wait for it, it produces 258 kilowatts and 700 Newton meters. And that is why we're here, because you need a lot of space to exercise all that power. So Land Rover says that this vehicle will do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.9 seconds. Now, we don't have any fancy testing equipment with us, but we do have an internal lap timer. So I am going to use my reaction speeds to see if I can get the best time out of this vehicle. The vehicle is in dynamic mode. I've got the gearbox in sport. This car does have a conventional torque converter, so when you activate launch control, it's not really the one that will hold the revs and then let go. Instead, the vehicle tends to scamper. We've seen that a lot with cars with this kind of gearbox. So let's get going and let's see what I can do. There we go. Come on, car. Come on. 80, 90, 100. Okay. So that was 7.1 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers. Now we need to take into account my reaction speeds. I don't have the proper fancy testing equipment, but I think 7.1 isn't bad considering that we're using the internal systems. So next up, we are at the dynamic handling track, which allows you to really get on top of the vehicle's dynamics and understand how the chassis reacts to certain movements and changes in direction. So it's a really nice way for us to see how sporty this Range Rover Sport is from a handling perspective. So let's give it a bash. I can feel there's some moments where the traction control cuts power because it can feel that obviously we're losing a bit of grip, but I'm quite impressed at how this big girl moves around quite a bit. That 700 Newton meters makes the world of a difference. Am I wishing for a V8 sound? Yes, but this car doesn't sound all that bad. You can of course hear that they've cleverly manipulated the exhaust system in this car to sound more sportier. And as a result, it does do something to the brain hearing this inline 6-cylinder churn away, and you can really flex the muscles of this Range Rover Sport. I can confirm that the Range Rover Sport is indeed quite sporty. Very enjoyable car indeed. The upside with the Range Rover's growth spurt is that you do benefit from a rear occupant's perspective. As you can see, there is ample space here. I'm not a tall person, but even if I were tall, I would have plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom as well, and this theatre-style seating really does give the rear occupants a good view, and you've also got generous under-thigh supports as well. So this is definitely a car that you would enjoy sitting at the back seat if you were to do a long road trip.
The boot, meanwhile, gobbles up 647 liters of luggage, and if you still need more space, the back seats can be flipped forward electrically, which increases the load area to 1,491 liters. My only gripe is that the Sport doesn't share its bigger sibling split folding tailgate, something which the BMW X5 has very cleverly copied.
When the Range Rover Sport launched in 2004, it caused quite the sensation.
Not only was a second Range Rover model offered for the first time in the brand's 30-year-old history, but here was a Land Rover product that could take the fight to the Germans in terms of performance and dynamics.
Fast forward to nearly 20 years later, and I do feel that this new Range Rover Sport has slightly lost the sporty nature within the Range Rover offering.
On the one hand, the Discovery has gone upmarket and now offers similar levels of luxury and refinement. You also have the Velar, which has become the more compact, more athletic sibling. And if you wanted something really compact, you could get into an Evoque. Then there are the rivals. For the asking price of 2.2 million rand, excluding options, you could get into a BMW X5 M50D, which is considerably more powerful and about 200,000 rand cheaper.
Don't get me wrong, this is a fantastic vehicle and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. It's dynamic, it's powerful, but there's something lacking, and I think it has something to do with what's underneath the hood. Perhaps Range Rover is leaving space for SV operations to do its thing, because with the right engine, this car would be a perler.